Hi everyone, I'm very happy to be here today and to have the opportunity to talk to you about this. This is the final result of a very huge and collective project we led in Berlin. I'm from Bordeaux, but I do the most of my fieldwork in Berlin. Tonight, instead of a conference, I would like to tell you a story, and a story within the story. Look at this picture. It's a huge drawing of how an ideal city could look, but not just any ideal city. The city of drug users, imagined from a variety of marginalized positions. We, a lot of people in Berlin and Frankfurt, worked hard together for months back in 2019 to come up with this drawing. Now it's here, and it's telling us so much. Let's travel forward in time. At the top left, there is a room with a blue stain. It's a former prison. It is obsolete because now drugs are legal. The decades during which they were illegal in Germany led to a number of catastrophes, among them the emergence of an uncontrollable black market, the economic and social precarity of many drug users, not upper class, and a disastrous health consequences. That was in the past. Today, there is no need for any prison. Back then, German prisons were full of people who were convicted for drug possession, drug trade, petty crime, or even just not having paid for public transportation. Many of these people who spent weeks or months in jail, mainly because of drugs, lost everything. Once out, they would have to begin a new life from scratch. But today, nobody loses their life to drug prohibition anymore. And you know what? Now, the city is saving lots of money because police, criminal justice and prison system were very expensive. And now, all this funding goes to the most important places in the city. First important place, housing. Because you know, having no home is the worst thing of all in this part of the world, particularly when you use substances when you have a medical condition. Then you need rest, intimacy, a place of your own to take care of yourself. That is now a fundamental right that is enforced. This is such a basic fact. As a drug consumer, you can't feel better before you get safe housing that suits your need. That's why such a lot of money is invested in housing here. Maybe you see some money sign coming into the building of houses on the drawing. You see the green parts of the drawing? This is where new homes are being built. Also, for those who need support in everyday life, there are assisted housing facilities, and a lot of them are for women, trans and inter people only. The second important thing in our city today is transportation. You see the pink stain on the train station, also on the right part of the drawing. Now, local and regional train stations are truly welcoming places. No need to worry about buying a ticket or paying a huge fine. You just go in and out as you like, without fear, and you can travel everywhere in the city. You can move easily back and forth between your home, because you have a home, and the doctor's office or the drug consumption room. If you are going through a very difficult time, you know there is always an accessible, decent shelter in the station. In the worst case, that's your emergency net. The third very important thing is healthcare. These are the orange marks on the picture. Now, everyone, I mean literally everyone without any exception, can go to the doctor, to the pharmacy, to the hospital, can call for emergency support and be welcomed, listened to carefully and cared for well. You know, now we don't have to show any insurance paper or card or whatever, like we used to do in the past, like the bureaucracy used to make us do. We don't show paper, we just show up yourself. Instead of paying bureaucrats to decide which life is worth what, we pay doctors to take care of people. We show up and there are enough healthcare personnel, material, all the necessary machines. Medication is also completely free. Something else that's very important. You just show up and you are seen. The staff is highly trained in non-discriminatory behaviors. Whatever you use for substances, wherever you are, wherever you come from, everyone is very careful to point out racist, sexist, ableist, classist behaviors. Because there is no access to medicine when healthcare practice remain discriminatory. The fourth essential thing is harm reduction, of course. These are the yellow stains on the picture. But this is no longer the small-scale, petty, scarce harm reduction you used to know. No, it's in every street, in each neighborhood, and at the outskirts of the city. A lot of these places are also for women only. Others are for LGBTIQ people only. I won't speak no more about harm reduction. You can read on the archive more about it. We all deserved this city, and now it's real, it's here. And not only we, drug users, are thriving, but also everyone else. Our ideal city is your ideal city. This is the end of the story in the story. As a conclusion, I would like to say, with this text, I tried to put into words the utopian reach of such a research process centering drug users. As I said, there were hundreds of drug users involved in the research process, and many researchers also. This research raised the question of the position of drug users and marginalized drug users in two ways. First, their position in the city planning. The future this picture is showing you is one where the whole citywide and regional planning seriously takes into account marginalized perspective in order to make a city that is better for everyone. It's crucial to envision issues relating to drug use and harm reduction at an urban scale as a broader urban policy topic, and not squeezing these issues between health and social work. We have to dream big. Second point, the project behind the pictures highlight the fact that marginalized drug users are neither an homogeneous nor revolutionary subjects as such. What this picture doesn't show, what you can't show in the picture, is that we don't all dream the same. There were a lot of diverse subjects involved in the making of the picture. Some, for example, we had to make some workshops only for women. There were broader differences between participants with German nationality and thus more benefits, and participants without German nationality, for example, just arriving from Poland. There were some xenophobia also within the workshops we led. There were not a lot of more marginalized participants than the one I already talked about, because we couldn't reach them. So, centering marginalized voices, marginalized drug users, is of the utmost importance under the condition that we understand the different kinds of marginalization and power relationship among marginalized groups, as well as our power relationship as researcher and research participant. And as a very last word, let's dig deeper and search more in order not to only give them a voice, but to give them voices. Thank you.